morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the Eachine EX1. But before we get into that, I have to give my shout-out reviews to my shout-outs to my Notification Squad winners. Today's Notification Squad winners are, Good Morning Galaxy and Smashy Plays. Good Morning Galaxy and Smashy Plays. Congratulations to both of you there. You were both first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus you win a shout out. Let's go over what I got for you today here. This is again the Eachine EX1. Now the EX1 is a rebranded version of a quadcopter that I have already reviewed, which is the JJ Pro Hax 3. There's also another version, the JJ or the Ghoul RC Binge 1. but Eachine is advertising that this has a difference in the other two in that it has double GPS. Now, I don't know what that double GPS means, as there is no GPS inside the transmitter for follow me purposes. I don't know, it may have an improved GPS system because the Hax 3 GPS was very poor. It would take almost it would take over 5 minutes to lock on to GPS satellites, and on top of that, the GPS system just performed very poorly on the Hax 3. I had lots and lots of toilet bowl. You'd send it out far, and then you'd let go of the stick, and this thing would go into toilet bowl effect right away. Hopefully, I'm not sure if it does, but hopefully this has an improved GPS system as compared to the other versions, the other rebranded versions of this quadcopter. And we'll find out here today. That's the idea. Now, what's special about this quadcopter? It is a brushless quadcopter. It has GPS, as mentioned. It has a 1080p HD camera that records to microSD card. There's a microSD card slot inside the... Oops, the battery went there. But there's a microSD card in the back that you can insert into this camera and record directly to microSD. Now the camera also has, let me put it back in again, it has two antennas. These are not, I thought these would be, what do you call it, maybe telemetry, but they are both, I believe they are both FPV, just dual antennas to improve FPV transmission to your receiver. Now the battery, it slid out there in that. I did not have it fully inserted. I wanted to make sure it didn't energize on its way out here, but it slides in. It is let's go over that battery. It is a proprietary battery. It's a 2S battery. I forgot I'll put it up here what the milliamp per hour is, but it gives approximately, I believe it was close to 10 minutes of flight time. We'll find out here shortly when we fly it. But again, it is proprietary. It charges through a micro USB cable, and there's a blue light that lights up, and the blue light goes off when it becomes fully charged. So on top of that, you insert it as such. It has an on-off switch on top, and again, this 1080p HD camera that records directly to a microSD card. That's it for the quadcopter. Let's go over its controller. Now, I mentioned that it has FPV, Wi-Fi FPV. This Wi-Fi FPV is 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi FPV, so you are going to need a 5.8 gigahertz, no, I'm sorry, not 5.8, it's 5G, 5th generation Wi-Fi, 802.11 AC Wi-Fi capable phone you are going to need to be able to receive that. Now, there are different versions of that, depending whether you're in Europe or in the US. I know it works for the US version, or US version of 802.11 AC. I'm not so sure about the European versions. Some people have mentioned that they had been able to change the region where they were on their phone, where, you know, saying that they were in Europe and they would then be able to receive the Wi-Fi from this phone. I don't know about that, folks. All I know is my phone here in the US works with this particular quadcopter. But again, you have to make sure that your phone has 802.11 AC. Going over the transmitter, it has 3 settings here that you can set the quadcopter to. Top position is GPS position hold mode. Center position is altitude hold mode. And bottom position is return to home. The quadcopter will fly back home to you. The buttons on the bottom here, this is for taking photos. This is for taking videos. This is for changing the rates of the quadcopter to increase its speed. It does have automatic takeoff and automatic landing was by that button there, and headless mode. If you want to fly in headless mode, you can press this button here. To start the motors, you bring both of these sticks down and inboard, and you can also stop them by down and inboard, and I also believe down and upboard will also stop them. Now this quadcopter also has a geofence. Now what is a geofence? The quadcopter can't fly in stock condition, can't fly higher than 100 meters or further than 300 meters. It will stop itself and do a return to home once you reach that. You can turn that geofence off. It's not really a problem, folks. If you're an expert and you want to fly out a kilometer or try to go fly out a kilometer, you jiggle this switch here several times until you hear a beep and the geofence is turned off and you can go do what you want, you know. I prefer to keep that geofence on because 300 meters is more than enough for this little quadcopter. Okay, that's a long distance, especially with the quadcopter. You're going to have a hard time seeing it at 300 meters. Let's put it that way, folks. And finally, it is important for every flight to do a compass calibration. And to start the compass calibration, you bring this stick down and to the left and this stick up and to the right. And I will demonstrate that here shortly. So let's go for a flight of this thing and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Three, two, one. Okay, we're going to start up the quadcopter and turn on the transmitter, and that should automatically bind to the quadcopter. The beeping will stop on this transmitter once it's bound. And the first thing we do, we're going to let the Wi-Fi warm itself up, but while it's warming itself up, we are going to do a compass calibration. And again, I mentioned you move this stick down and this stick up and to the right, and that should initiate the compass calibration. And to see if we are in compass calibration, the front light should be blinking blue. And it is very hard to see, but looking up here, okay, we have blue light in the front, so we are in compass calibration, and the green light in the back is extinguished. Now what we need to do is turn the quadcopter horizontally and also clockwise, like so, until the blue light extinguishes and the green lights come on in the back. I have to hold it up like so to see that blue light, folks, out here in the sunlight. Okay, we got green light now in the back. I don't know if you can see that, but now what we do is put the nose up. And again, rotate it horizontally with the nose up until the blue lights come on. And the blue lights are on, which means compass calibration is completed. So compass calibration on this thing is very simple, or very quick as compared to the HAX 3. You know, that would take forever in the HAX 3. Okay, now let's see. Turn on the app, turn on the Wi-Fi, and see if we got GPS. And let me check here. We still don't have any satellites yet. We do. This transmitter, by the way, has telemetry, and it shows satellite reception along with other things such as range and altitude and speed of the quadcopter and what mode you're operating in, whether camera's operating or not. You know, I'll include a link right here showing you the screen, a screenshot of the telemetry screen on this. Okay, so we got the compass calibration. Again, I'm going into the app, so hold on, folks. Okay, this is the Eachine Fly app, the app that you use for this. And we're going to hit play, and we should have FPV reception. Now, although you can record the FPV screen, I don't recommend using the Wi-Fi version of this. We are going to record using the microSD card slot on board the quadcopter by pressing V on the video button. And an insignia comes up on your screen here telling you that you're recording. But another way to check that you're recording is to look for a rapidly blinking red light on the camera. I don't know if you can see that, folks, right there by that back antenna. That means we are recording to the microSD card slot. Okay, so we should be actually ready to go. So first thing we're going to do is check how many satellites we got. And I have 14 satellites, so that's a lot faster than the satellite connection that I got with the HAX 3. I would still be looking for satellites right now. Probably have 0 to 2 satellites if I was using the HAX 3. So maybe this does have improved GPS. But let's find out. Let's go take to the air. Starting the motors, down and inboard. Motors are started. Let's press that automatic takeoff. Okay, automatic takeoff didn't work. Let's give it throttle and just take to the air that way. Let's check its position hold. We are in GPS position hold. I do have it turned on, and it is drifting away. So, you know, although it locked on a lot faster than the other one, this one here seems to be blowing away. Let's see if I can go to altitude hold and pressing GPS again. Well, apparently the GPS is drifting. Bringing it back. We do have 14 satellites. So what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to land it one more time and give it another takeoff. Let's do an automatic landing. It doesn't want to land either with the land button. Okay, we're gonna close it, turn it off, down and out, or down and out. Down and out stops it. Okay, let's press the takeoff button just by itself and see if that takes off. Nope. And we do have 15 satellites, folks. I'm not sure why that was drifting. Okay, cycling the switch here, down and up. Okay, we should be in position hold. Okay, down and out to start the motor, or down and in to start the motors. Automatic takeoff is not working again, folks. I'm pressing the button. We got 15 satellites now. Will it hold its position now? Or will it drift with the wind? Well, now it seems to be holding its position. Kinda. Let me get in the camera here, folks, and say, how do you like my shirt today, folks? Okay, it's blowing away. Well, I'll tell you what. I am going to fly it manually. We'll send it out about 100 meters or so. I'm going to fly it manually. Then I'm going to hit that position, or return to home switch. Hold on. I want to pick this up, too. This is blowing a bit with the wind. But yeah, my GPS is not working, apparently. Let's go over here. Plop it there. Let's hit that automatic return to home. Does it do anything? It's doing something. Going up. Will it come back home? That's the question. And where does it think home is? It is. So return to home is working. It seems to be working well. It's just that when I hit that open, you know, the GPS switch, it's not working. And I'm not sure why. To tell you the truth, folks, I'm not sure why. But here it comes back down again. Okay. And the accuracy of the landing's not too bad. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, let's let it land. And after the shutdown, I'm going to switch back to GPS mode. And we should be in GPS mode. Pressing the automatic takeoff button. Nothing happening there. Starting the motors. Down and in. Okay, and then just giving it throttle. So, GPS does not seem to be working on mine when I select How about if I select altitude hold? I got an altitude hold now. It's drifting with the wind also. Going back to GPS. Well, GPS just does not work with mine. So with that in mind, I'm going to fly it manually. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see it. And I'm going to send it out, and we'll do a return to home from... I just want to try out its FPV. So I got my glasses on so I can see it. Going up and out. And how far are we away here? I'm going to plop it there for a second. I want to see what the distance is. 53 meters away. So we'll go out farther. Go out this way here. Still got FPV. Oh, had a little break up there on the FPV. And it stopped right there. Okay, and we are 146 meters away. Okay, I got FPV reception back again. Going out a bit further. We'll take it out to about 200 meters or so. Again, I'm flying this manually, folks. I see a little dot in the sky here. And really, let me plop it there. The wind's taking it. And pushing forward. It's wiggling in the sky. Moving to the right, turning it to the right. Hopefully it's coming back toward me. It's moving to the left, turning to the left. Let's hit the return to home. See if it comes home. Turn to home is activated. It worked before. Hopefully it'll work again. It was doing all kinds of squiggly things out there, folks, off in the distance. Kind of scary. 200 meters away. Well, I lost, okay, 187 meters away. It was doing, I don't know if you call that toilet bowl or what, but it was doing something out there that it kind of was scary. But it's coming back now. And showing it over here. Its return to home works very well. Let's put it that way, folks. Its return to home works well, thank goodness. But its GPS flying needs much to be desired. It's kind of scary out there. Doing all kinds of weird things. So what I'm going to do next, let's fly it in altitude hold mode without the GPS engaged. Depending on how much battery I got left here. It's coming down, coming down. Yeah, like I said, its return to home works very well. Okay, let's turn off that video recording. Stop, start, stop. And making sure it's off. There's the blinking. Okay, the blinking is off, so it has reset. I'm going to put it back on its pad. Start the video recording one more time. Checking the battery power left on my quadcopter, which is 53%, so we got some power left. And double checking that the video is started. Yep, got rapid blinking. Let's see if that off, slow blink, on, rapid blinking, so it's recording. Going back to GPS mode, hitting takeoff. Keep trying this takeoff button, it does not want to work. So, and starting the motors. And this time, okay, give it a throttle. Still in GPS mode. Is it drifting? Is it drifting with the wind? Apparently so. Bye-bye. So, let's put it in altitude hold mode, folks. This time I'm going to fly it manually again, and we'll go up this way now. Without GPS engaged. And then I'm going to let go of the stick to see if it does any weird wobble. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, folks. Let's bring it back this way. I'm going to GPS mode. I'm in GPS mode, and then I let go of the stick. And it's still drifting. But then if I give it forward pitch, yeah, it's not doing it over here like it was doing it over at the at 200 meters. But then again, maybe I was at the edge of the reception range of this transmitter. I don't know. So again, I'm going to fly this around in altitude hold. Let's go up high this time in altitude hold mode. I'm just flying it manually, folks, because I don't trust the GPS. I don't know what's the deal with the GPS. What altitude are we at? It's not very high yet. About 30 meters up. Going up higher. We've got to be higher than 30 meters. And there goes Mr. Raven. Hello, Mr. Raven. Let's go after him. No, I'm going to leave Mr. Raven alone. We'll fly around the area here at that altitude there. That seems to be a nice altitude to fly. In altitude hold mode. Sorry, folks. The GPS does not seem to be working on mine again. So we'll fly around the area in altitude hold. The return to home GPS works, but the position hold GPS does not. And I'm not sure what the deal is. How much battery power? Ooh, we better come back. We're getting low. Coming down. And I'm going to do a manual return to home this, I'm going to fly it home this time. And bringing it in. I can't read that. Oh, we're at 29% power. We still got a little bit of power. Again, showing my beautiful shirt again. So let's go down this way and then come back. We'll go fast over the desert in altitude hold mode. It does have good range on this transmitter, by the way. So you can do exploring with this in altitude hold mode, high speed exploring like I'm doing here. Going over the desert. A little throttle. The desert comes up to meet you over in that direction there, so let's do a flyby of me. It's doing a return to home. I guess we've reached the end of its battery. I think it does an automatic return to home at low battery. Yep, that's it. It wants to do a return to home. Here it comes back on its own. So when the battery gets low, it comes home. That's good too. That's nice, actually. Okay, it said, okay, I'm out of battery power. My battery power's getting low. I'm coming home. And it's doing it all by itself. I didn't tell it to do that, folks. See, I'm still in altitude hold mode. So it did it all by itself. So return to home works real well. Altitude hold works real well. GPS position hold setting, not so much. So let's let it land here. Okay, this time about a meter off, a little over a meter, meter and a half, 2 meters from its takeoff point. So that's its flight time, folks. That's the flight time and that you give you. Let's turn off the video and make sure the video is stopped. Double checking my lights on my camera. Pressing the video one more time just to make sure. Rapid blink and slow blink. Okay, and notice the light's blinking too, so telling you that we are in LVC. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll go like that. So we are in LVC. So that's the Eachine EX1, folks. It has promise, but it needs a little bit of work, particularly its GPS system. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure what double GPS means on this. Okay, Eachine is advertising this with Banggood's advertising this with double GPS, and I'm not so sure it actually has double GPS, folks. Its performance was very similar to what I experienced with the hacks, the JJ Pro X3 hacks, and I'm not sure how the binge, if the binge is any better than this, the GoRC binge. So that's the Eachine EX1. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out from my Mojave Desert test site. See ya.